Well, welcome back to another Book Talk with Tracy. My name is Tracy Krause. I'm an author. I've written 12 or more novels. I've got lots of stage plays. I've written some devotional books, including one on the Jewish calendar, and I have one illustrated children's book. So I'm a bit of a chameleon when it comes to what I write and my various creative pursuits. And that's why I thought today it would be kind of fun to maybe talk a little bit more about my background and some of my early writing endeavors. Last time I talked about my journey as an author and some of the differences between traditional publishing and self-publishing, because I've done them both and I've had an agent. I've not had an agent. I've used a traditional publisher, signed lots of contracts, plus I've also self-published, especially started doing that when some of my work was reverted back to me. The rights were reverted back. So it's a complex topic, really. And for those who aren't in the industry, you might think, "Wow, what's that all about?" Or you maybe have an idea of that. How things would go, when in fact it's quite there's a lot of moving parts. I think though, for me, being a writer is something that has always just been something I did. So if you are a person thinking, "Oh, I'm going to write a book and make a lot of money," I would say stop, go get a real job. Or if you have this idea, I don't know, if there's other reasons you write. I mean, there's lots of reasons for writing. But I would say somehow it has to come from in here, right? It has to be intrinsic to who you are. And I would say that is the case for me, especially, as a creative person. I'm also an artist and I enjoy music and I'm a musician. I'm not claiming to be great, but I do play the piano. There it is behind me, and sing and things like that. So I think for creative people, they need an outlet. And for me, my outlet was art. It was drawing. As a child, I was always drawing. But it wasn't until later that I realized I was actually telling stories in my drawings. I wasn't just looking at something and drawing a pretty picture. I literally filled scrapbooks and sketchbooks full of people, mostly people, and different situations, and there was always a story to go with those. There was a backstory. This was a character. This was a person in this movie playing in my head. So I think my writing actually started with drawing and with characterization and developing those characters, which later, as I became a drama teacher, I realized that developing characters and characterization and thinking about character backstory and all those things are really important parts of the writing process. So speaking of being a drama teacher, I have written dozens of plays, and I do have several published plays, 9 right at this moment, but I do have contracts pending with several other plays, so who knows how many it'll be by the time you watch. But in any case, as a drama teacher, I was writing a lot of plays for my students. But when I look back to it, I realized I wrote my very first play when I was in grade 4. I had read a book called Ghosts Don't Eat Sausages. And I loved that book. I just thought, wow, this would make a wonderful play. And so I wrote a play. I was in grade 4. And somehow I convinced all of my friends and all these kids at school to perform this play. I'm going to put on a play. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no idea when we were going to do it or who we would perform it with or anything. And of course, in those days, there was no photocopier or anything. So I actually hand wrote the script out twice. I had the full copy, and then ridiculous, like I cut it up and I would just hand people their little strip of lines. But at recess time, we were practicing this play, Ghosts Don't Eat Sausages. And lo and behold, there was kids who wanted to be in it. It was really fun. Well, my grade 4 teacher, her name was Goldie Sullivan, noticed what was happening at recess time, and she asked us what we were doing, and I explained it to her, and she arranged to support us in this play, arranged some extra practice time, and even arranged for us to perform the play in the gymnasium in front of the entire school. Wow, what a time. Like, you know, when I think back at that, like I think it was a pivotal moment for me in terms of my writing career and even going on to teach drama later. Because I was the writer and the director, and I still have my copy of that year's yearbook where, you know, there's a little page on our grade 4 page about this play written and directed by Tracy Krause, and there's a picture of me with my straggly hair and whatever. But what a turning point for me, writing that play and having someone believe in me and putting it on. It was fun. I think another really important person for me was my grade 12 English teacher, Mr. Meganbear. And for some reason, I didn't like him that much, other than the fact that he really encouraged me to write. And I guess he noticed something in my writing, and he said to me, you know, there's this writing camp that you could go to in the summer for people who like to write, and you're a really good writer. Like, I just really encourage you. And when I look back now, I think, wow, he was a really good teacher. Like, I don't know why I didn't think I liked him at the time, but sorry about that. I like you now. But that was another one of those pivotal moments. It's like, wow, really? You think I'm a good writer? Like, I could actually do this? And even though I didn't go to the camp, I look back at that experience, and I'm so grateful for him and for his encouragement. I didn't go on to do that, as I said. In fact, I went to university, and I took fine art, and I took education. So I went to, my goal was to become a teacher, an art teacher, and I did do that. But I also minored in English and in social studies, practically speaking, because a lot of small schools need the art teacher or the drama teacher to teach other subjects too. And I do love reading and English. And I did that. I got my degree, and then I got married, and I didn't work for a while, and I had a baby. And I was still trying to paint and bring out all my paints and do all that. And it just was a lot of work. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do some writing. Like, why not? So I borrowed my mom's old typewriter, and I started clacking away while my daughter was napping. And that was more than 35 years ago. And I just never stopped. Like, that was another turning point for me in my writing career, is switching from a visual focus to a writing focus. And somehow that habit of writing every day while she napped just became something that I carried on through all those years of motherhood and staying at home with my kids. When I went back to work as a teacher, I wasn't able to do it as much, but, you know, there's still the weekend, there's still spring break, there's still summer holidays. And somehow that writing just continued on with me through all these years, to the point now where, like I said, I've got probably more than 30 titles in print. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're a writer, you know, write from that place of passion. Write what you feel called to write. I could write, I mean, I do write articles and blog posts and all kinds of things, but I still have that call for fiction because that's what I really love writing. And so I think that's the thing that keeps me going, that just makes me wake up every day wanting to write, and now, of course, to see my words in print. So that's a little bit about my background in terms of writing and why I write and where I came from. And I just hope that you will check out my website, see all the plays, books, whatever over there. It's tracykrause.com. There is no E in Tracy, and there are 2 S's in Krause. I always have to say that because people spell my name wrong all the time. How many ways can you spell Tracy, and how many ways can you spell Krause? Well, apparently a lot. But in any case, check it out. Leave a comment, leave a review. I really appreciate corresponding with you and connecting. And that's it for today's version of Book Talk. I hope you join me again next time, where we'll talk more about books, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.